The Rhodesian Bush War, conflict in Africa in the country of Rhodesia, now known as Zimbabwe. Um, it was a very violent sort of race-based conflict. The country of Rhodesia, run by the Rhodesian Front government, led by Ian Smith, signed the UDI, the Unilateral Declaration of Independence, from Great Britain in 1965. And until they signed the Lancaster House Agreement, which ceded Rhodesia back to Britain in 1979, Rhodesia was in a conflict with insurgent groups and was not internationally recognized. It was an unrecognized state. It was only recognized by two nations, South Africa and Portugal, under the Salazar regime. The war itself was very interesting. A lot of different sort of pop culture things came out of it. A lot of different tools, weapons, camo patterns, and whatnot came out of it. We're going to talk about a few of those. There were two sides. It was the Rhodesian Security Forces, which had a large special forces operations group in it, such as the Rhodesian SAS and the Sela Scouts, and then the insurgent group. There were two, the ZANU and the ZAP. Both of those groups were supported by the Soviet Union and Communist China. Again, while the Rhodesian government was supported by Portugal and South Africa. So one of the guns that was used is the British Sten gun. This is a Mark II. This is what they used in Rhodesia. They were holdovers from World War II. The Rhodesian government and the country of Rhodesia fought in, it was technically a colony during World War II of Britain. They fought under the British during World War II, and they used these, and these were holdovers and used also in the Rhodesian Bush War. It's chambered in 9mm by 19 millimeter. It's a NATO round. This is commonly used as a pistol round today, but it was used in the Rhodesian Bush War in the Sten gun. Another rifle that they used, these were imported third party from the United States. This is the M16. This wasn't used specifically in Rhodesia. This is a reproduction of it, but this is what they would look like. 30 round magazine, same as the Sten gun, takes 30 rounds of 9mm, and this one was chambered in 5.56, which is this right here. This is still used today in most battle rifles, and such as the AR-15, M4, and other rifles. Some of the other rifles that were used, obviously on the insurgent side, you have the AK-47, the SKS, all made by China and the Soviet Union. They were supported by them. And then on the Rhodesian side, one of the most popular guns of that time was the FN FAL, which was a .308 battle rifle. One of the coolest guns out there, in my opinion. And they used a lot of those, especially in the 50s, but they also had them during the Rhodesian Bush War. Onto camo patterns. The main camo pattern that came out of the Rhodesian Bush War is Rhodesian brushstroke. This is a reproduction blanket, but the dark green, green, tan, and brown all blended into the environment there in Rhodesia. A lot of the forces there, they would have Rhodesian brushstroke shorts like these, and vests and outerwear also had that same camo pattern. Some other camo patterns that they used, the Sela Scouts, which were the special operations group that would go behind enemy lines and kidnap insurgent leaders and bring them back for questioning. They would wear a lot of the this is tiger stripe. They would wear a different variant of tiger stripe, similar to this with different color pattern. It was called Portuguese lizard, and they would wear that in tandem with the Rhodesian camouflage. With the Bush War, it was very difficult for the Rhodesian government to kind of contain all the fighting within all of its borders. Towards the end of the war, what really kind of killed Rhodesia was the international sanctions and the fact that a white minority government was pretty frowned upon in the late 1970s, early 1980s, same as South Africa. After they ceded power back to Britain, the insurgent powers became the head of Rhodesia and renamed it to Zimbabwe, which it is now known as today.